Hello and welcome to another episode of Dating in the Wild. How are you, everyone? Today I have with me a special guest, Rebekah. Hi, Rebekah.
Hi, so good to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on to this show. And Rebekah has a great story and also more dating stories and a dating book that she's going to talk more about. But Rebekah, tell us more about yourself and whatever you want to share with the audience.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me, Glow, and hello, Dating in the Wild po- people. So good to be with you today. Um, so I have wanted to be an author for years, and I love writing. And I actually run something called the Texas Center for the Book at the State Library in Austin, Texas, and it's all about increasing literacy, reading, library use.
Mm.
Um, and my first book actually came out in 2020, which was a crazy year to have a debut, which means that it can still come out in 2021 because everyone gets a redo from 2020 if they want.
We hope so. We hope so.
My background's in children's literature. I love to write for children. I love to write picture books, but I also like to write for adults. And so my first book is actually a picture book for adults.
How
And
fun.
yeah, and it is on dating. It's rooted in humor. I'd say the main themes are friendship and empowerment.
Mm.
And it's called, there's a little picture of it on my little screen. It's called Alexandra and the Awful, Awkward, No Fun, Truly Bad Dates.
Yes. And
These
that's
are,
a play on the children's book, Alex. And then is it,
yeah,
wait, that's a
Alexander.
right?
Yeah, Alexander, you got it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a fun nod to that book that a lot of us know.
Yeah, I remember. Ah, his very bad day, which, surprise, surprise, we all have. So, yes, so tell us then, you have a dating in the wild story, and tell us a little bit about this person and how you met them.
Yeah. So I met this person on Bumble, and we ended up messaging quite a bit. And schedules were hard to align, so we got to know each other pretty well before we met.
Okay,
Um,
communicating on the app.
yeah, communicating on the app. Yeah. Our first date was actually Simon and Garfunkel cover band. Yeah, it was really
Oh,
fun. And immediately just feel really comfortable with him. He's sincerely one of the, if the better people I know. He's just got a really good heart. And yeah,
so
we
did
just,
he ask you out after the correspondence?
yes, yes, yeah. He was good about making his interest known.
Oh, nice. Okay. And I understand Bumble is one of the dating apps where the women message first. Is that
Yes.
right? So then, what did you say to initiate the conversation?
You know what? I can't quite remember. I think he had a really good sense of humor, so I think I might have made a joke. Um, I remember also I remember he's kind of I could tell he was the kind of person that appreciated kind of small moments, and so I'd send him like funny pictures. Just like I remember there was a giant snowman over by Whole Foods, but it was like in the garage because it was
Oh,
done with for Christmas, but it looked like the snowman was in a timeout, and so I sent him a picture of that, and just like little fun things, and he seemed to really appreciate that.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so how did this first date at the Simon and Garfunkel cover band show go?
I think it went really well. We had fun, and
Mhm.
I can tell he was a really like courteous person. He it was also really, really, really cold, and so and sometimes in Austin people just stay home when it's cold, and so there should have been more people there because the band was super talented, but there was maybe like just a handful of us, and
Mhm.
so kind of fun, just kind of a fun, laid back experience.
Yeah, it makes it more intimate when there's a smaller crowd.
Yeah, it was nice.
Okay, so then after that first date, did you guys want to continue seeing each other? How did things transpire?
Yeah, we did continue seeing each other, and I think we definitely went on more dates. And he has a kid, and so scheduling started to get like a little bit complicated, which is fine. That's life. I think it probably was even more on my end. And so I think it's just started to be more time between when we would see each other, just
Mhm.
for honestly scheduling purposes. It just
Mhm.
kind of life kind of got in the way a little bit.
Yeah, gotcha. And then, so then, how did things end, or has it ended? Has the relationship ended?
Yeah, so you know what, I will say what has seemed to me this happen is we've just become really good friends. And what do you want me to tell the big reveal now, Glow? Do you want me to tell them?
Sure, yes.
One of the reasons that I decided to tell the story, because I really do want to say and I want to encourage that I've had a lot of really good dating stories, even though the title of my book is Awful, Awkward, No Fun, Truly Bad Dates. There's been a lot of really good ones out
Yeah.
there. But the reason we chose this one to talk about was Glow knows is this person, he was so supportive of my first book coming out. And he said, you know what? We're going to have a party for you. Like somehow there's going to be a party for you. And then the pandemic happened,
Mhm.
and he had already started talking. He's a member of the UT club, the University of Texas club, which is this club that's associated with the university. And so he started talking to their events coordinator and said, I have this fun friend. She has this great book. I think we should do an event for her. And so it turned out that this um, awesome, wonderful, very good, truly fabulous date ended up creating an event for my Bad Date book, which I thought was a really sweet kind of juxtaposition. So he made
Yeah.
that happen.
Wonderful. And so then, along the way, then, you guys realized mutually that you guys were just better as friends, or just decided not to pursue each other romantically?
Yeah, that's really where it seems right now for me. It seems like we're just friends and really grateful to be in each other's lives.
Yeah.
So there's like a sweetness to it. And I will say, to be authentic and to be realistic, you know, there's a friendship, and also I don't know if there would be more if we weren't in the pandemic, and it's just like hard to see each other and hang out.
That's
Um,
true.
but I just really lean more towards just like a comfortable friendship with him. And I'd say that he probably feels the same. But yeah, I'm really grateful that he's in my life.
That's great. Yes. Yeah, you never know who you meet on these dates. And like you said, you did have some bad dates, according to the book, but with online dating, a lot of times it's a numbers game. So you have to go through a number of those bad dates before you do meet, a great person that becomes a good friend. So tell us, you said you met him off of Bumble. Um, would you endorse that particular dating site, or have any tips or recommendations about it?
Yes, I would. I think Bumble is a solid site. I like what they stand for. I like that they sort of started with the founder actually started with an anti-bullying premise, like set out to come up with an app. I'm not going to get this perfectly right, but I think she really wanted to make sure that there was like a safe space for women to feel empowered while they date.
Yeah.
And she and the company, from what I can tell, I mean, they've also created Bumble BFF and Bumble Biz, where you can make business connections. And I just think that I think they have a good thing going. I think that they value you know their people. I also had a bad date experience where someone I'd met on another app got to be really kind of um, uh, just unhealthy and kind of mean, which we don't have to talk about too much.
Right.
But when I saw him on Bumble, I reported it to Bumble, and I'm not going to name the other app, but Bumble, even though I hadn't met him on originally on Bumble. I met him on another app, but then when I saw him on Bumble, when I
Mhm.
reached out and told them about it, they took it way more seriously than the place that I had originally even met him. And I just thought that was really great. Like
Yeah.
they take matters really seriously and they
Mhm.
really care. And I was so impressed with like the warmth and the attention to detail that they wanted to understand what happened
Yeah.
with that person. So that's kind of what they're all about.
That's great. That's good to hear about, you know, this type of dating app, like an endorsement for them. Like, it's really a positive thing to hear that this company's mission or values are really empowering and, you know,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know, and I would love to do something more with them. They're in Austin, and
Yes.
I think, when people read my book, I think that they'll see that yes, it's about bad dates, but there's a lot more to it. The kind
Mhm.
of empowerment and friendship, I think that's really in line with what Bumble has to offer. And
Yeah.
so I'd love to collaborate with them because I really appreciate what they're all about.
Yeah. That'd be so fun. Tell us about how people can get your book.
Well, you know, anywhere they want, Glow. It's available. I love for people to really check out their independent bookstores.
Mhm.
We gotta keep supporting them. In
Small
Austin,
businesses,
Book
independent business.
People and Book Women, and you can get a signed copy through them. Also Target and of course Amazon and the big ones. Um,
Are
and then also
available on their
on my
website, like Target's website, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah. Or if you just want to go to my website, I have links to all those places, RebekahManley.com.
Great.
And you know, for a limited time around Christmas, and I know this is going to come out later, also around Galentine's Day, I'm going to be doing a special where I'm going to be sending signed copies if people want them directly from my website,
Ooh,
so
yeah.
people can get it for their friends and their Galentines.
Yes, this is a February episode. We do celebrate love for February, but of course, everyone thinks about Valentine's, but we ladies love to also celebrate Galentine's Day. Support your fellow gal pals, and yes, and just single or not, your gal pals are there for you, and this would be such a great gift for your gal pals.
Yes, I think so too. And I'm really excited when people start to read the book because they may not realize until the third or fourth read how prevalent friends are.
Mhm.
They're kind of Easter egged in the illustrations. And so I think people will really feel like, oh, I'm supported by my friends too. Like dating isn't a solitary sport. So I'm excited
Oh,
for
I
you.
love that.
Yeah,
Yes, dating is not a solitary sport.
it's
That is
not.
so true. I mean, because yes, I have friends that share their dating stories with me, and I share my dating stories with them. And it's not just the sharing of the stories, but then also like just sharing of perhaps dating tips and techniques and advice as you are navigating the dating world. It's really important to, yeah, to talk to other people and not go about it by yourself.
For sure, for sure. It's not something to do. And I think also when we do things that we feel like we're alone in, that's where we like start to tell ourselves the most stories,
Yeah.
like in our heads. Like okay, I'm going to unpack this in my head. And a lot of untruths, unhealthy untruths, slip in. But I think when you're sort of talking things out with your friends, like they can speak truth and you can kind of hear yourself say things out loud. And I think
Mhm.
I think that helps honestly, because it's
Yeah.
really easy, especially in dating, especially during the pandemic, to start to kind of get inside ourselves in a way that's not very healthy.
That is so true. So, so true. Okay. Such great messages. Rebekah, you've got a great book, funny and cute, quick, picture book for adults. Yes, I'm so excited. We'll obviously be sharing the information here to the audience on how they can get your book. But yes, I appreciate you sharing a positive dating story. As you all know, that's what this show is about, and hopefully, learning from one another that dating can be, although wild and crazy, can have positive endings.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on to my show. And we'll see you all next time on another episode of Dating in the Wild.